Professor, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished leaders present here, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. Hamjambo wasafiri wa mbinguni. Namshukuru Mungu kwa sababu ametupatia nafasi, and I want in a very special way to thank His Excellency the President for finding time to come and join this Adventist family on this very important occasion to expand the infrastructure of this institution. Mr. President, I was privileged earlier to have come to this university. When I was in 2010, when I was promoted and made the Minister for Higher Education, I came here and joined the leader of the church when he laid a foundation stone on this great building that you have inspected today. I said then that it was a world-class facility. I think you have testified yourself that indeed it is. Mr. President, the government of Kenya under your leadership is engaged in the transformation of our country, expanding infrastructure, generating more energy, expanding food production, so that we can expand the economy and create jobs and create wealth. Mr. President, for us to get meaning out of the transformation of our country, we must equip our human capital, men and women, with the right knowledge, the correct skills, and relevant competencies, so that we can not only grow our economy, but we can create jobs, create wealth, and also make sure that that prosperity is shared by many Kenyans. The effort, Mr. President, you've come here today to help fundraise, to expand the facilities of this university, is in line with what the government is doing in matters education, because we are committed to the transformation of this country. It is important that we equip men and women from primary school all the way to university with quality education so that they can acquire knowledge, and we can equip them with skills that they can use to drive the wheels of our economy and prosperity. That is why, Mr. President, the government has expanded capitation in our primary schools. The government has made it accessible for all students, both in private and public universities, to access higher education university loans. And the Commission for University Education is now engaged in making sure that the training in our institutions of higher learning is on fields that are relevant, so that we can generate the necessary skills that will help us attain the standards and the vision that we have set for ourselves. Mr. President, I can vouch that the Adventist family are committed to ensuring that we achieve the vision that we have set for our country. They have mentioned here about what they want to do about health sciences. The Adventist family are very serious about health. I know that. And Mr. President, I have rubbed shoulders with the Adventist family for a while. There is an occasion in my constituency when I was Member of Parliament for Eldoret North. I invited a minister, name withheld, to come and fundraise in one of the Adventist schools. So after the fundraising, around 4 o'clock, we were invited for a meal. And the minister had come from Western Kenya, and he had an entourage of people from Western Kenya. So they were expecting some meat and chicken and other things. But we were served with beans and soya. So my guest told me, you are lucky that we are having this meal after the fundraising. Otherwise, we could have considered going back with our contribution. Maybe that is why, Mr. President, we were also invited to come here after lunch. Because these people might have been told, you and me like lamb chops, and they are not able to serve us lamb chops. But let me say, Mr. President, that now that we've come here and you have been given a mandate by the leader of the church to ask us to do what we must do, it's now my pleasure to request the President of the Republic of Kenya to make his remarks and lead us in the untying of the donkeys that we have.
Let's be seated. Thank you very much. The Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, trustees and management of the Adventist University of Africa, the Adventist leadership and congregation here assembled, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me say that I'm indeed very glad to join you here as we have assembled to raise money for this university's health science building. And at the very onset, let me commend all of you for your visionary resolve to come up with this very important project. Let me also thank Mzee Simeon Nyachai also for his leadership, tireless and inspired service to the Adventist community, and indeed to the entire nation. And I must say that we don't take your selflessness for granted, and indeed we all wish you many, many more years of service to this community and to Kenya as a whole. My government appreciates the role of religious communities in complementing our efforts to support healthy and harmonious communities built on integrity and ethics. Religious communities go a long way to build communities, one citizen at a time. I must commend the Seventh-day Adventist movement for its work in establishing and running many institutions of great impact throughout the Republic of Kenya. You have established hospitals, educational facilities, and other socially beneficial amenities. Indeed, you have uplifted communities, empowered our citizens, and been part of building our nation. Your role in providing education is particularly commendable. You have contributed a lot in setting up schools, both primary and secondary, middle-level colleges and universities. Your vision has indeed been progressive. This is why you have grown steadily and evolved the caliber and scale of educational services over the years. You are now arguably at the peak of your achievement with the Adventist University of Africa. You have scaled new heights in the provision of higher education. First and foremost, as the Vice Chancellor mentioned, this university is Pan-African in its scope. Secondly, it is the only university we have which is solely focused on the provision of postgraduate studies. The Adventist University has innovated and occupies a special niche which complements our rapidly expanding university education system. As many of you know, this sector has grown over the last couple of years from 7 public universities in 2007 to 22 in 2014. Similarly, private universities rose to 37 over the same period. This growth is a direct response to the demand for higher education in our country. It also addresses the human resource needs of an economy embarked on an ambitious development and growth path. We need many well-trained professionals and specialists with skills needed in a globally competitive environment. For this reason, we require a large university teaching personnel. This is why the Adventist University of Africa has been visionary. You have spoken to the same urgent need as my government's ambition to train over 1,000 PhDs every year over the next decade to meet our national requirements. Let me also say that the firm religious and ethical foundation at the heart of the Adventist movement and this university's philosophy is also critical. As a matter of necessity, universities are in the business of developing leaders. Committed and professional leadership is always underpinned by dedication to high moral standards, integrity, and a strong ethical orientation. This bears out in the famous biblical dictum that the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. As a country aiming for global competitiveness and continental leadership in many fields, high-quality leadership is indispensable. We are here today to celebrate and support a singular and visionary initiative to uplift our country. The university church leadership and the entire Adventist community are once again demonstrating their high calling and devotion to noble work. You are showing your commitment to transforming our nation and leading our continent to prosperity. You are strengthening your formidable arsenal to wage successful battle against disease, illiteracy, and poverty. Most importantly, you are demonstrating exemplary discipleship, compassion, and philanthropy. By touching hearts, improving minds, and healing the sick, you bring the word of God to life as a light to humankind. My government embraces the participation of non-governmental organizations, especially religious communities, in complementing our development agenda. In this spirit, I once again commend the Seventh-day Adventist Church for being an exemplary partner in helping us transform Kenya. I urge you to keep up the good work that you do. I congratulate all the stakeholders who have joined hands with the university to develop this institute. Because of your contribution, we are here today to inaugurate a fresh chapter in the transformation of education in Kenya and in Africa. I congratulate you for this, and I thank you all for making time to participate in this very worthy initiative. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Kenya and Africa. With those few remarks, it is indeed now my pleasure to order you all to untie your donkeys. Thank you very much.